Everyone, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, and like the video, and share the video. Most importantly, share it on all of your platforms, share it with all of your friends, share it with news media outlets. Share, share, share.
My wife drove my daughter to, I want to say Jacksonville, somewhere, one of these shows, to let her see the performance, because that's all she was doing, was learning the behind the scene of putting on a show.
They drove to Jacksonville at 10 o'clock at night, got there at 2 o'clock in the morning, and asked a stranger for a bed to sleep in. Didn't use a credit card to get their own room. The show was over. There was no behind the scenes to look at. This was not professional. This was if you're driving for a professional meeting, why would you leave your place? Don't book a hotel room for yourself. Go to R. Kelly at 2 in the morning and tell him you need a bed to sleep in. You don't have credit cards to get your own room. Court documents show that the mother was encouraging her daughter to seduce him, telling her to shimmy for him, wear her hair sexy, look young, give him a massage. He's going to be butt naked in your hotel room. He's going to have babies with you. My son-in-law is going to be younger than me. Before you do anything, make sure you get a music deal. Don't just let him have sex with you first. The mother was pimping her daughter out, and her daughter was complicit, and the father was in on it. This was a come up out of the ghetto for the Clarys.
Vegas and having fun and stuff like that. It was a little bittersweet, and I had a dream when I was leaving. That's why I stayed with Ellen and them in Vegas. And in my dream, it was me when I first met Rob, and it was me telling him, you're not great until you make someone else great. Yeah. And so, for whatever it meant, I guess it didn't mean anything to him, because here I am with no career, no nothing, whatever. And so it just made me think of Joy. And I said, what's the purpose of me getting, all this beautiful blessings that I have on the table, and knowing that she's still in that situation? You are not great until you make someone else great. And she may not, get as many opportunities as I get, but the fact that she's no longer in that situation, I've done my job, And so that's really why I really just wanted to just get her, or at least try, because we have spent 5 years together, and I would want someone to do the same thing for me.
She's playing for the camera. She's claiming she wanted to get Joy to save her so she could be blessed. Yet, when she flew from Las Vegas to Chicago, the first thing she did was fight Joy with cameras rolling. She went live to say, you slept with me as a minor. And then they proceeded to fight. Azriel instigated the fight. Azriel is the one that said, tell Joy she has to come up and get the stuff. Because the lady came up for Joy. And the minute Joy came up there, she antagonized her because she went live. Everything was a publicity stunt. Everything was to make money on the documentary that her and her father had a 7% stake in. She became a federal informant for revenge, for fame, and for money. She fought Joy for money and fame and revenge. She is a pathological liar. She is a narcissistic liar. Every time her lips move, she's lying. She was never his number one girlfriend. He was never going to marry her. He never wanted a baby with her. She was never in a good position with him. That's why she fought Joy, because she was jealous of Joy. And she claims she was trying to save Joy. All that's to make herself look good for her documentary. But her actions say different. The minute Joy came in, she went live and started recording. The minute she saw Joy, she began making accusations at her while she went live, until she antagonized her to the point where they fought. Then she called the police. Then she asked for the feds. And when she talked to Robert, she said, "You and her are both going to jail. You played me." Nothing in that was said, "I'm here to save Joy." You knew I was coming to get Joy, and you told her. She was trying to get Joy to flip and turn on Robert too, to become a federal informant.
You're 22 years old, but you are old enough to know better.
At the direction of the FBI, Azriel Clary recorded numerous phone calls. She got pissed off and became a federal informant.
You don't need to worry about going there because we are sending agents there to secure the area.
Okay.
Have you been to the storage facility yourself?
I have been.
Okay, and around when was the last time you were there?
The last time we went there was after we moved out of the studio. We went there because we had to get like winter clothes out of there, so we got like winter clothes.
Yes, Larry McGee brainwashed her. Yes, Larry McGee, his wife, his daughter, his mother, waterboarded her. Yes, they spent 7 days bombarding her with information. But for 4.5 years, she was one of 6 girlfriends. For 4.5 years, she was with Larry McGee 7 days, a man she did not know, a man she had no history with. She was with R. Kelly 4.5 years, a man who took care of her, a man who traveled together with her, a man who fed her, clothed her, kept a roof over her head, in a lifestyle of luxury that she would have never had otherwise. She chose to believe a complete stranger, someone she knew for 1 week, over a man she was with for 4.5 years. Even if everything Larry McGee told her was true, she had the option to walk away and just never fuck with R. Kelly again. She had the option to confront him and have conversation with him and work things out. She chose walk away and burn the bridge that she stood on for 4.5 years. He was already in jail. She wanted him to suffer even more, to make fame and fortune and celebrity while she stood on his throat. Chose to align with a man that she knew for 7 days over a man that she had been intimate with for 4.5 years. She chose to do what a man she met 7 days ago told her to do, instead of going to the man she claimed she loved and asking him and trusting what he told her and standing by his side and working through it. She chose to go with a complete stranger's version of what she should do with her life, instead of someone she chose hate over love. She chose a stranger over someone she had been with for 4.5 years. She chose to listen to a convicted felon and become a federal informant instead of talking to the man who she claimed she loved. What you do in these moments defines your character. It reveals who you are at your core. And she revealed she's a disloyal person that has no integrity. Pressure brings to the surface who you truly are. When you're squeezed, who you are at your core comes to the surface. Did Larry apply pressure? Absolutely. Did Larry, his wife, his mother, his daughter spend 7 days bombarding her with information? Absolutely. But they didn't share with her anything that she had not lived for 4.5 years. 4.5 years, she was one of 6. 4.5 years, she was the jump off, the side chick, the studio hoe. She knew he had a main girlfriend. She knew he fucked other women. She also knew she lied about her age when she met him. There was nothing Larry could have told her that she did not already live for 4.5 years. She chose to take dick in every hole and eat pussy by the pound. She chose to exchange sex for being taken care of financially. That was a choice that she made. So nothing she learned in Las Vegas for that week was any different than what she had been living for 4.5 years. Nothing. She just thought finally she would get to the number one position, and when she saw that wasn't going to happen, she went for revenge. Because after Las Vegas, she could have left. She could have just walked away and pursued her music career. She could have went back to Atlanta, went back to Florida, went anywhere. She chose to go to Chicago, call Shabazz, tell him to come to Trump, and she went live when Joy walked in and began making accusations, fighting with her, and asked to speak to the feds. All of that was revenge. She chose to tell them about a warehouse. She chose to tell them stories. Months later, she called the feds to tell them Richard Arline had contacted her and made up a story. Months later, she sat in the courtroom and told stories. She had plenty of time to recant. She had plenty of time to think through her actions, and yet she chose revenge over doing the right thing. When you squeeze her, a snitch comes out. When you squeeze her and put pressure, betrayal comes out. When you squeeze, the only thing that can come out is what's already in there. If you were disloyal and turned into a federal informant on a man that you said you loved for 4.5 years, that's because at your core, that's who you are. Because if you were loyal, no matter what you heard in Vegas, you would have just walked away and left him. R. Kelly fills stadiums. He doesn't get out the bed for less than $1 million. Yet Angelo Clary, Alice Clary, Azriel Clary seemed to think he was going to work for free for them. He was supposed to meet her and then have her be his, I guess, protege. And he gets what in return? He has 3 children he can produce for. He has people all around him that have children that want him to produce. He gets $1 million to produce for Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Luther Vandross, Ronald Isley, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Diddy. The list goes on and on. Why would this man work for free? Why would R. Kelly work with Azriel Clary for free? He saw her on a speaker twerking. Why would this man, who is at the top of his game, who fills stadiums, who does not get out of bed for less than $1 million, work for free? What was Azriel Clary bringing to his life? What was Angelo Clary bringing to his life? What was Alice Clary bringing to his life? They want us to believe he didn't do what he said. What was he supposed to do for somebody in his audience? She didn't have a new artist deal. She didn't meet him with a manager or a lawyer. She, at 17, couldn't sign a contract. She went to his hotel and sat on his face.
To you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Joycelyn, happy birthday to you, happy birthday.
ready. It's the king of R&B. R. Kelly. R. Kelly, like you've never seen before. This is the biggest show of the century. The Buffet Tour with R. Kelly Live. Coming to a city near you. The Buffet Tour 2016. R. Kelly, the man. The music. The drama. The king. R. Kelly Live. R. Kelly with the live band, putting it down with songs never performed on stage and performing the smash hits. You can't miss this event.